Instagram Stories has many fun editing tools that can help show off your brand's creative side. In this video, we'll show you step-by-step how to use these creative tools to boost the impact of your stories. It's a best practice to map out what your stories will look like in advance, especially for longer ones. Sketching your story out ahead of time ensures it supports your social media goals and also has a clear narrative flow with the beginning, middle, and end. You can start your story from scratch or use a template, which gives your stories a visual theme. Using a pre-made template supports consistent branding and makes your stories recognizable to your audience. Hootsuite and other third-party apps offer pre-made templates to use, or you can design your own. In this example, we'll use a Hootsuite template interspersed with other images and video content. Let's start our first slide off with some text by tapping the screen. Type your message, then click through to choose a font. For the sake of uniformity, stick with one font throughout your story. We're going with Classic because it stands out better. Now select a color. Alternately, instead of picking a color from the list, use the dropper to match a specific color from the background of your image. Now pinch, expand, and drag into position. With our text added, let's make our story more discoverable by adding a location and hashtags. You can add only one hashtag sticker, so use it for the most important hashtag. You can also add up to 10 text hashtags, which further aid discoverability. Avoid clutter by hiding or camouflaging these text hashtags. Do this by using the dropper to color match the text with a background color. Or place a sticker over top. This way, they're still doing the discoverability work, but without taking up any valuable screen real estate. Now, anyone who searches for this location or hashtag can discover your story for the next 24 hours. Now let's add some GIFs to our story. Choose from a live list of trending GIFs or enter keywords to find one that's most relevant to your story. Be sure you understand a GIF's context before using it, and use them sparingly to avoid clutter. We're using this coffee GIF because it's relevant to our event and doesn't detract from the main message. Now, we're moving on to a new slide with the purpose of gathering audience insights. We'll do this with a question sticker. With question stickers, you can ask your audience a question, or they can ask you one, which can open up a two-way dialogue. Tap the color wheel to change the box's color. Tap on the story to view replies. From there, you can reshare the reply along with your own responses as a follow-on story. If you've invited your audience to engage with you, set aside time to respond to encourage future engagement. Moving on to a new slide, we'll now use a poll to gather even more audience insights in a fun, interactive way. In this example, we're trying to find out where our followers want us to host our next event. You could then share the poll's outcome as a new story. The emoji slider is another type of poll, where your audience votes on a scale. The results are shown as an average, which is useful for gathering more nuanced insights. On our next slide, we'll use the countdown sticker to generate awareness about an upcoming event. When your audience sees this in their feed, they can tap to be reminded when it ends. They can also share it to their own story, increasing its reach. Depending on your business type and content strategy, there's a range of other stickers that may be useful. For example, if it's available in your country, you could add a soundtrack with Instagram music. If you're using video in your story, emphasize a specific point by adding a sticker. Select your sticker, use the slider to find the right spot, position it, then click Pin. In our next slide, let's try something more artistic. With the pen tool, you select a style, color, and thickness. Then, use your finger or a stylus to draw on the story. Make corrections by tapping Undo or use the eraser. Let's now look at an advanced use of the pen tool. We're going to create a teaser for our next event location. First, upload an image or video. Then, open the pen and select a color. Press and hold the screen for a few seconds, then release it to create a solid color. Now, use the eraser to strategically reveal small areas of the underlying image or video. If you've watched a lot of Instagram stories, you've probably seen text with a colored background, like this, or like this. To create the boxed background, go back to the text tool. First, select the background color you want. Use contrasting colors so the text stands out. Tap the button to apply the background. To create the scribbled background, select a pen, a color, and thickness. Then, scribble to create a background for any font. You can also get a wider range of color options for the text or pen tool by pressing down on one color. A color gradient based on that row will appear. Use your finger to slide along and select the best one. The last topic on our list is filters. You've likely seen the dog filter on people's personal stories. If these face filter types work with your content strategy, we encourage you to explore them. For example, we've framed Owly working hard at his computer. Let's scroll through to find the filter that best suits him. We'll choose this one because it'll jump out at viewers and stop them from swiping past. For simpler filters, just swipe left on your screen. There's a number of preset filters available that adjust contrast, brightness, and color tone. If you use a filter in your story, use the same one throughout for consistency.